Today we're going to work on our nose, cheeks, and this area. And there's a lot going on in our face. So first, you want to get a nice glide, and you can just put a few drops on your amazing jade applicator. And then I'm just going to take this and just gently put it on my cheeks and my nose area. Excellent. And you can just do a couple of nice scoops to make sure it's even across your cheek area. You might need to apply more as we go. All right, so we're going to start with the nose, and you can find this line right here. It's off the center, and we're just going to begin sliding up and down, kind of waking up the sinuses. I mean, you wouldn't believe how crooked our nose can get just from normal facial expressions during the day. We have tense noses. Good. And switch sides. You can switch hands or not, whatever you prefer. I like to switch hands. Feels more balancing. But the left is a little bit more of a challenge. Excellent. Next, we're just going to begin sweeping across the cheek. And I have my thumb right now on, we'll use different hand positions, but right now I have my thumb in the little indent. I'm just going to scoop with the edge, gently gliding across the cheek. Excellent. And I start right where we were sliding on the nose line. That's where I start the scooping motion. And I'm kind of scooping a little bit up. And just keep gliding across the cheek. Just get a feeling for it, letting it slide on your skin. Excellent. And other side, so I'm not going to switch hands. And scoop. Just finding that edge and letting it glide. This helps for lymphatic drainage, circulation, and it's really good for helping with senescent cells in the skin, because the pressure causes the weaker cells to kind of move on with their incarnation, to just die and fall away. And the other cells that are more resilient, they respond and become stronger. And that's what we want. We want to encourage the skin to have healthy, strong cells. Okay, now I want to go into this, and oftentimes we're getting a crease here. It's not from smiling too much that the fascia pad here in the cheeks has fallen down. And this happens with gravity and time. But the good news is that the face is always regenerating, and if we give the impulse for it to grow tissue in the old position, it will eventually migrate there. This is tissue migration. Bone migration is one that a lot of people know about. So to deal with this, we're going to start by stimulating right here. So specifically this area from the inside of my nose to here's my cheekbone. And I'm going to use these kind of gentle back and forth motions. And you may find that there's some tension there. You can feel little adhesions where the muscles and the fascia got tight and kind of bonded together. And just very gently back and forth. Just very gently. So we're not trying to pull the skin. That's why you want to have a nice glide serum. Gently. Excellent. And then go ahead and do the other side. Just very gently. Now, as I'm showing you all these different movements, you may find that you have an area of your face that needs a bit more attention. So feel free to kind of work more in those areas. This tutorial is to kind of show you the main moves that help to regenerate, rejuvenate, sculpt the face. Excellent. So then just go ahead and scoop both sides. So, releasing. Now we're going to go here, and I'm going to scoop and lift up and draw it across my cheek in a nice gliding motion. No intense pressure here, just the repetition of the movement is where you get the real gold. It's not about being super intense or using a lot of force. You want a nice glide and the repetition. Our face tissue is delicate. And go ahead, other side. I'm going to switch hands now. Live a little. Excellent. And just scooping across. As you're doing this, relax, elongate the breathing. Give yourself that moment to just kind of be and kind of take care of you. We have to. I mean, if we don't clean our house, it gets messy. But got to take care of this house too. All right, and then let's just come, and we're going to scoop and kind of go right up towards the cheekbone, and then here scoop right up towards the cheekbone. Excellent. And you may feel, just as I'm talking, keep going, just kind of get into it. Scoop up towards the cheekbone. You may find that one side, like this side of my face, which is my left, has much more tension, and I can kind of feel it, and oh, that's nice. So, when I find that we're not naturally symmetrical. I mean, even if we tried to be, our heart's on one side, our liver's on the other. Excellent. We're just scooping and kind of really feeling into that cheekbone. Okay, so here's where it gets a lot more fun. Now, right here, if you go ahead and find your cheekbone and you kind of begin to feel into your face, you'll feel that there's at a certain point, like here's my cheek, but then right here, there's all these wonderful muscles, which I use a lot because I talk a lot. And if you just touch them with your fingers so you can kind of feel what's going on there before we use this, you'll find that there's like little tense spots. And what that is, it's muscles that are kind of permanently frozen. And then the fascia tissue, which is like a passive web that wraps all of the cells and has these like longer bands, it'll get more dense. And then sometimes you'll even get like different deposits like calcium or something, and it'll actually feel a little crunchy. Yay. All right, so what we do, once you find it, you're going to find your this ridge of your cheekbone. You're going to go ahead and you're going to just glide up and down, and it'll feel like pebbles in there. Don't worry, it gets better. And when you find an area, and I notice I'm using the tip, and currently I have my thumb here. When you find an area, you're just going to kind of gently think to unravel it by like this little back and forth motion. Now, I originally came to face yoga practices as a teenager because I had such bad TMJ, and I grew up a yogi, so just keep going as I talk. So I knew that there was something here, and when I found this, it allowed me to really because I was clenching all the time, to just gently undo it. It took a couple of months to really release all of the tension, and you'll just see just kind of working in this zone, just up and down. There's a lot in there, so we're not going to stay here as long as would be beneficial for you to do what I do. Go ahead, other side. Let's switch so we can cover everything. Find that where the muscle is, and then if you want to switch hands or use the same, go ahead. So what I do is when I'm doing my cheeks, I'll kind of put on a movie because it's a little boring, and once you kind of know your face, I mean, you can feel here with the gua sha. At first you might want to use your mirror to just see, but then eventually you'll get a feeling for it. You can watch a movie, and I'll tell you what, releasing this jaw tension, it improves your hearing, it improves headaches, improves your looks, because it's going to give you a much more chiseled jawline. But as you're learning to do this, and just wherever your knots are, kind of hang out and use that repetitive pressure. And you can also go side to side, though. Here I tend to like the up and down, but you might have knots that are different than mine. Just use a consistent but gentle, steady pressure, and realize that undoing, decades of tension might take a couple months, but you have a solution, and every time you do it, you feel better. Now, if you feel sometimes where the bone ridges, you'll find that there's attachment points. And where those attachment points are, you can gently press in with this jade applicator. Awesome. Now we're going to look at one more area, which is back here, and you can feel with your fingers behind where your jawbone is. Yeah? So to do this, you have to open your mouth. So it's hard for me to talk, but I'll do my best. Don't laugh. All right, so you're going to open your mouth, and you're going to take and glide it like you're trying to go behind where the jawbone is, but not into the head. So it's angled. It's angled. And there is some serious stuff there. So with your mouth open, just very gently glide up and down, and think that you're undoing a knot through time. So be patient. Don't like go straight at it. Like find it and just gently undo. And here you can spend, a minute or two. And then same thing over here. Open your mouth. Glide up and down. And just keep going as I talk. So usually one side will be tighter than the other. This is this work here and this right here really undid my TMJ. And when we get to the portion where I show you how to use the jade applicator on your throat, it's amazing. But you see, there's a lot in there. And as you kind of explore, you have some homework here to do on your own because you need more time here, and think of undoing it through time. And what you'll see is your face will get much more symmetrical, and you'll feel a lot better because you're that tension that's like holding your head and your ears and your neck, it's all one thing. And when you release the jaw, it affects the whole neck and the head. So you have this area here on the cheeks and this area back here, and you want to just take your time and go bit by bit, relax in front of a movie, undo your knots. And then we learned how to work on the nose and scoop the cheeks, which just stimulates the lift and stimulates the fascia to begin to grow back, because we've just been letting our faces kind of be affected by gravity, and there's so much you can do. I do this particular stuff about twice a week. If you work deeply in your jaw, you'll be sore the next day. Sometimes, like when I was releasing mine, I would be a little bruised. So just take that so that you know it can happen, because these knots, you've been building them for decades, and they do take some time to undo, and it's a bit intense. So go at your own pace, be gentle, and consistency is key. All right, enjoy the jade applicator, and this was nose, cheeks, and all that beauty in between.